Hi, and welcome back. The Trinity Team is made up of Jin Shin Jyutsu practitioners studying a 3,000-year-old healing art from Japan. You can see different positions of Jin Shin on different paintings, artwork, sculptures, and even ancient drawings. This energetic modality harmonizes your energy just like acupuncture, but without the needles. You simply put your hands as jumper cables on different parts of your body to enhance any stagnant energy of the body. We would like to say, first, you need to feel Jin Shin Jyutsu bliss, and then you believe in the Jin Shin Jyutsu bliss. With our busy lives, let's take a moment and reset our minds and bodies. Get into parasympathetic mode where we can rest, restore, and digest. A simple breath can do this, but when you add Jin Shin Jyutsu bliss, and now we have magic that can change the direction of the day. Let us now take a moment and do a check-in with mental, emotional, and physical bodies. Take a moment now to check into your mental. On a scale of 1 to 10, as you can see here, where are you? If you can, write it down so you can review it. Now for your emotional state, where are you from 1 to 10? And finally, on your physical body, where are you on a scale of 1 to 10? Jackie.
Thanks, Bridget. I always love hearing how Jin Shin Jyutsu can come from the past, all those thousands of years old, into our daily lives. And I'm excited to hear Marie's sharing. She has picked a very interesting set of energy patterns to help us today. And you can experience a bit of that as she tells her story, simply by holding either your thumb, either one, and putting your hand on the inside of your ankle. And then your other hand, just tuck it behind you, right in the middle at your coccyx. And Marie will share how this has helped her in her life. And you can also experience how this can help you in your life, because when we bring together the energy center at the inside of our ankle, it helps us to go from where we were to where we want to be. It helps us to regenerate. And it's wonderful because if you think about stepping forward, your ankles help you to step forward and to make that transition. And then your coccyx and the 25, which is located right near there, helps us to see that all the solutions are within ourselves if we take the time to pay attention. So, Marie, as we're holding these, can you share with us your inspiration?
Thank you, Jackie. What a lovely description of how we can receive the benefits of JSJ. If you visit my website, you can find the initial path that led me to the art of Jin Shin Jyutsu that included some herniated discs in my low back. But today, I thought I'd share with you what I've noticed after practicing JSJ for a number of years. So we're going to go back in time a little bit. Join me, won't you? I was working 12 to 14-hour days. This was the dream of being a professional after college. Yikes. I was addicted to work and uncomfortable with the concept of TGIF. I had spent most of my life working or studying. The idea of what I was going to do on a thank God it's Friday night was beyond me. I was a workaholic, but not because I loved my job. It was more because I was too shy to have a social life. Even though I longed for connection, I had no clue how to find it. Being successful at work was the closest I could imagine to what belonging might feel like with others. I was successful and proud of the daughter I'd become. My folks had bragging rights. First college graduate, great job in the corporate world, decent income. I was all grown up. Not really. Working hours, long hours, kept me from taking care of how I nourished my body. Most meals came from the vending machine or the microwave. Certainly not much nutrition there. I survived on Philadelphia pretzels. If you haven't tried them, they're delicious. Chef Boyardee, please don't tell my mother that, and peanut butter crackers from the vending machine.
Oh, yeah.
Looking back now, I can't even imagine a diet like that. Needless to say, that lifestyle caught up with me. In the 90s, late 90s, I was diagnosed with hypoglycemia, low blood sugar. How does one manage hypoglycemia? Well, with food. Every couple of hours, more food, more food. Wherever I went, I had to be sure that I had snacks to help me manage my low blood sugar episodes. If I wanted to stay awake, alert, engaged, I needed to be sure I had food to support my insulin levels. My symptoms included excessive yawning, which is very embarrassing, fatigue, cold sweats, lightheadedness, nausea, dizziness, foggy thinking, memory challenges, headaches. I never knew what symptom would show up. I was told by doctors that hypoglycemia could turn into diabetes. And I have a few friends and family members who have diabetes. I did not want that. I needed to take care of my pancreas so it would take care of me. The doctors told me to treat this project with protein. So milk, meat, nuts, things like that were my go-tos. Eating protein was treating the symptom, which helped me for a little while, but I still wasn't nourishing my body properly, just supplying it with enough to keep me awake until I crashed. My cravings were sugar and fat, and I was drawn to cakes, cookies, milk duds. Oh my. I wasn't doing a great job at avoiding sugar. I knew it was the enemy of my pancreas, but sugar became one of my greatest teachers. One day, I was preparing for a laughter wellness session. By the way, I teach laughter wellness to people. This was long before I met Jin Shin Jyutsu. I had stopped at the dollar store to pick up some props for the class I had that night. I felt my blood sugar dropping, and there was a bag of little Reese's cups at the checkout counter calling my name. When my sugar drops and my levels are low, my sugar cravings are high, sky high, almost to the point of feeling like an addict looking for a fix. So there was this new way back then of selling these peanut butter cups with no wrappers, the tiny little ones that are in a bag. You just open it up and they're right there, ready to eat. I thought that was a quick and convenient way to satisfy my sugar craving. And I'll only have one or two just till I make it home so I can have some real food. The bag was gone before I left the parking lot. By the time I got home, I just wanted to fall into bed and sleep it off. That's a typical response when I indulged in sweets. Fortunately, I had this laughter gig later that evening and I wanted to prepare more for the event. I began to practice my session. When I completed the laughter meditation portion, I realized I no longer needed a nap. It was a small miracle and a big aha moment for me. Laughing helps to flush our bloodstream with fresh oxygen. Fresh oxygen goes to our brain. Our brain creates happy brain chemistry. Happy brain chemistry helps me think more clearly, be more alert, and more engaged. Okay, that was another piece to the puzzle, the breath, which is basically what we're using when we laugh. The breath helped my symptoms almost as much or more than protein, a huge gift for me. So if breathing can help my symptoms and my cravings, what else might? Whenever I feel the sugar cravings come on, I know my body is asking for something to nourish it: water, breath, movement, sleep, food. I would later come to know that our bodies never ask us for something that doesn't serve us. Our emotions might, our cravings might, but our bodies don't. I continued my search not only to support my symptoms, but I wanted to know the underlying cause for my hypoglycemia as I continued this dance I had with sugar. Fast forward some years, Jin Shin Jyutsu enters my life. When I began my studies, I learned that the spleen function energy flow supported the pancreas. That's the hold that Jackie invited you to do. The first step is the coccyx and the inside of the ankle. From that moment on, the spleen function energy flow became my dear friend. I consider all the safety energy locks and all the flows dear friends, but the spleen flow would become a lifetime companion for me. As a JSJ practitioner, I know the underlying cause of disharmony is our attitudes. And if I wanted to get to the root of my diagnosis, I had to explore my thoughts. I had to sit with these cravings and ask, what am I really feeding? Is there some sweetness in my life that is missing? How much longer do I want to feel this way? I was so tired of being so tired. And in the presence of cravings now, I can call upon the spleen flow. I can drink water, I can breathe, I can move, and of course, smile and experience the magic that is Jin Shin Jyutsu. Clearing a disharmony with Jin Shin Jyutsu can be very quick or very subtle. Typically, the more chronic the project, the longer it may take to clear. I've had clients feel great after only 1 or 2 sessions, and others who have been seeing me for a few years. It occurred to me one day, out of the blue, that I wasn't reaching for nuts or other snacks to manage my sugar. I didn't have to constantly worry about how long I'd be away from food. My episodes of hypoglycemia are few and far between now, and I believe this daily spleen flow practice is the reason. The moment I feel a little off, I place my hands on my coccyx and my inner ankle, or simply hold my thumb, and that off feeling dissipates almost immediately. Did I cure the hypoglycemia? I don't know. I think maybe. But I do know that my life no longer revolves around what food will be available to me every minute of the day. Oh, and that feeling of connection I was missing all those years ago in my life? Well, my friendship with Jackie and Bridget are 2 more examples of how Jin Shin Jyutsu has blessed my life. Spleen Flow and JSJ have been a blessing to me, and I am so grateful to be able to share this gift with you, joining with this Trinity team here. I really appreciate you listening. So now I'll turn it back over to Bridget for another check-in.
Thank you, Marie. What a beautiful story. Let us do the MEP again. Check in with your mental, 1 through 10. Your emotional. And now your physical. And see if there's any changes. If there's not, that's okay. But just to bring this awareness of what is going on in your body is really good information. And you'll see as you practice these different finger holds as well as positions, you will see a change like Marie and myself and Jackie has.
You know, I feel a lot more calm and a lot more grounded. And I'm intrigued, Marie, that you found a new way to meet your body's needs and actually to go beyond just a stopgap thing. But did you have this one moment that really crystallized it for you? Because you said that sometimes when you start to feel a bit off, you notice that you can bring yourself back to center. So can you say a little bit more about that?
Sure, thanks, Jackie. That's a great question, and it's always an interesting adventure as I do my own healing work, because sometimes I just want to eat a Reese's cup, and being present and doing a spleen flow or holding my thumb, there's this sort of defiance in me from years ago that comes up and says, no, I really just want to eat that Reese's cup. But now I've gotten to the point where I think a little further out, and I recognize that the happy brain chemistry that I can create doesn't have to come from a sugar craving. It can come from my breath. It can come from a decision to honor my own healing and what's best serving me. It's an interesting sort of journey with regard to paying attention to what feelings come up when I remain present. And that's the key, is if I'm present, it's way easier for me to manage all of my healing, my blood sugar levels, my cravings, anything, my low back pain, any of that stuff is way easier to manage when I stay present in the breath. So I don't know if there was actually a moment for me. It's an ongoing journey, as I call it, my dance with sugar and cravings, because I like it to be a positive thing, because it's teaching me how to honor what's most important to me and not look at just stopping this for today, but honoring what are my goals. And if my goals are sleeping it off all the time, then sugar's fine. If my goals are actually sharing this gift, this wonderful gift that we have, with people who might be suffering with similar things that we are or have been, then that's what we're here to do. And that trumps sugar every time.
I remember those peanut butter, orange peanut butter cookies from the vending machine. I lived off of those too in high school and going to college, and just knowing what kind of chemicals are in there. Oh my gosh. So,
Yeah.
and I think one aspect of Jin Shin Jyutsu that a lot of us don't even think about is that self-awareness, that empowerment of realizing, hey, it's a choice. I get to choose whether or not I want to have this or not. But you know what? If I have this chocolate, I'm going to enjoy it because that's the whole purpose in eating and consuming. But I think knowing thyself, which is what the Jin Shin Jyutsu practice does for everybody, is just so empowering and so enlightening, and you do become a different person. And when you can make the choice and feel well with the choice, and in turn your body starts changing, becoming healthy, I mean, there's no looking back. So thank you so much for your story. That was amazing. I haven't heard it before, so that's awesome.
Thank you, Bridget. Yeah, it's been an interesting journey for sure.
So what a delightful time we had together again. Thank you everyone for sharing your time with us and experimenting with this Jin Shin Jyutsu bliss. As we get more videos out, please subscribe, like, and even comment below so we can find out what you would like to have as a topic, and we'll be more than happy to talk about that. And I wanted to thank you all for coming, and we'll see you next time with Jackie's story. Bye.